Do you guys think there's any value in saving yourself for your husband? So having less partners for a future husband?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
Because I can understand why it would be a sacred thing to share just yourself with only one person, and that person's the person you commit to.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's important to save yourself to that person. Like as a Christian myself, I just feel like that's a very sacred thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and definitely about quality. And usually, if the woman's gone through a few guys, she's going to be damaged mentally, emotionally, spiritually, maybe physically as well.
Auntie?
Let me just answer a question about virgins and getting married.
Yeah.
And didn't they? I was just saying that the answers they gave the first time and the answers they gave this time.
Maybe they changed their minds with new information. I don't know.
It's the way you ask the question. It's just the same question, but in a different way.
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't
Okay.
think it's the same question.
It's a different, because it's a little different. It's kind of the same, but it's a little
When you're saying
different.
about virgins getting married,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying, no, it doesn't matter if you're not a virgin, you know.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but if you ask it in a different way, I don't know.
I think it's the same as what I said before, that the less the better.
Do you feel like your standards have gotten higher or lower the older you've gotten? Or the
Lower.
same? Lower?
higher.
Higher?
Higher.
Higher.
The same.
The same. How have your standards gotten higher for you two? Like, what were your standards before and what are your standards now?
I don't know. Before it was just I didn't really think too much into it. I would kind of just talk to someone and then accept them as who they are. But now it's like I can't just accept them as who they are because it's depending, like they could have some sort of issues that I would not necessarily want to deal with, and just me growing myself, I don't necessarily have time to deal with those things. So now I'm just like I have just a certain limit that
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, mine's quite similar to hers. It's more standards in the sense of more patience and just given time to get to know people, and also knowing that, you know, a lot of things are like the surface level. And that's what most guys are searching for is the body. So just giving our time to get to know someone mentally, emotionally, more so.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about the body?
I'm saying that most guys are after you for sex. So it's about just knowing that and having that, you know, they're giving you the gift of the gab and telling you what you want to hear just because they want to get your knickers. And it's not because they genuinely care about you or they actually really want to get to know you. I think that takes time.
Okay.
Do you think we should work to create a more sex-positive culture?
Not necessarily sex positive. I don't think it needs to be advertised anymore necessarily. But for those who do it, it is what it is. But I don't think it needs to be publicized any further.
What about you? Should we create a more sex-positive culture?
I feel like it's already out there enough. I don't think it needs to be advertised anymore.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
No, I think we definitely do need to create a more sex positive culture because sex is natural. That's how we're created. It's something that we can't help, but it's how we, you know, cultivate that and get into that, i.e. not sleeping with loads of people. And that's to the guys as well. I've got young sons and I try to teach them to be celibate, put your energy into your sports and into your careers. And hopefully when you elevate, you can give yourself to a woman that, you know, is decent. But also you got all the STIs and STDs, whatever they're called. And the sex, like the energy transfer. And I think in that way, we need to be more educated. It's not about like, oh, sex is bad. Sex is not bad. We're not going to stop. And I think because we haven't really taken on face value and be like, okay, sex is natural. This is why we do have all the corn and, you know, the SA and whatever, because we're restricted and we feel dirty. And it's not like, it's natural. Just find one person that you vibes with and, you know, build that relationship with them, get to know each other.
So how would we create a more sex-positive culture?
I think by educating ourselves a lot more about it. Like, I think that we need to really get into this whole thing of energy. It matters. You know, every person...
How should we educate? So if you're are you going to educate kids or are you going to educate teenagers? When do we start the education?
Yeah, I think we should start the education in schools because it's normal to have sex.
What age?
I think when puberty starts.
So like 13, 14?
Yeah.
So at 14 years old, how do you educate? Do you tell them how to have sex?
No, I think you should tell them about the feelings.
Like a guide?
Yeah, no, I think we should tell them about the feelings that they're going to experience, you know, and what they might want to do. But I think we have to educate them on a moral value to be like, look, you might have these feelings and this energy, but you have to kind of hold it within yourself until you find somebody that you really connect with. And usually you don't find that until you can pay a bill, until you can go and, if you can't get a job and work, you can't be having sex. That's the way I say to my boys, like, if you can't take a guy on a date and treat her good, you can't be having sex with her.
And do you think that's a conversation the schools should be having or the parents?
Both. It's a joint thing. It, like they say, what is it? It takes a village to raise a child. And that's what we need to do between all of us.
Okay. And so you would tell them not to, the message, the education would be telling them don't have sex until you can have a job.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
What's sex positive? What did you say? Sex positive?
Yeah, should we create a more sex positive culture?
No.
Sex negative?
Yeah.
How would you do that, Auntie?
Just don't have it. Didn't they have in America somewhere where they have those is it celibacy when they go around the schools and they have fins and stuff?
That's what I grew up getting.
That's
chastity speakers.
Yeah, that's it.
Chastity speakers.
That's what they should do.
And we had everyone said, okay, I had a certain, I'm not going to name names, someone say, oh, the Catholic schools were so bad. I don't know what Catholic schools y'all went to. We had no teen pregnancies in my high school. And we did chat. That's what they all would say. Oh, if you don't have sex ed, you guys are going to go crazy. I'm like, no, we were much better than the public schools.
I mean, there were a lot of Catholic schools that I knew that nearby, and the girls had plenty of sex and didn't get pregnant because they used really good contraception, but they were all slags.
Yeah.
The Catholic girls were the worst.
My high school wasn't like that. It wasn't
they were
crazy.
as my mom said, the undercover horse.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like in us, it was the public schools. They were just wildin'. Like, we didn't even have parties or anything.
With us.
Or if we did, I wasn't invited. Maybe they had them and I just wasn't.
But don't you not find it in England that the Catholic girls, they're wild when they get loose?
I find it all girls' schools.
Yeah.
Which are normally...
Yeah.
Yeah.
England and America are two different things. Like,
the girls are wild.
Yeah, I think in America, like, they've got, like, what they stand for, they mean it. Where here, you can just kind of do what you want to do. And there's no strength in any beliefs, really. We don't really have the strong religious belief. Where, like, in America, like, they had all those, you know, groups, and it means something. You stand by something. It's your word. It's your honor. Yeah, but
it's from like all them data beta clubs, isn't it?
Exactly.
I read super chats one more time. Do you think that changed? Like, that England used to be, like, have more of what you were just talking about, like culture, standards. When do you think it switched?
I think when the internet was blew up, and also I think when we just started integrating cultures, I think that's when it kind of just messed up a little bit, because it was kind of we all lost our way, basically. I think.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna refresh this.
I don't think so. I think it was when everybody started copying everybody, like the internet opened it up, so everybody started copying America and here and there and whatever. But I just think that it's just, they got too many laws in England that protect the children. That's what it is. You can't do nothing with your children anymore to protect them. And I think that's what it is. But I think the internet has got a lot. And just like following other people, just like thinking the grass is always greener on the other side. Whatever. My mum always says that if America gets a cold, we sneeze. You know, and that's the way it's worked.
Can I just say as well, I think it's like the drugs and alcohol culture. Because obviously that affects you, and everybody gets all free-minded and free-spirited and starts loving everybody and whatever. Yeah, and the music, because the drugs, the drink, the music, share it across the world, the media.
I think that's different. I think in the 70s, it was all... In the 70s, it was all free love now.
Psychedelics.
Now it's just like sex, drugs, and fuck everybody.
Yeah, but that's back in the day. It was psychedelic, so open it up to your spiritual self. Where now it's cocaine and MDMA or whatever, and that just messes you up. That makes you think you're something that you're not.
People don't
But
even
cocaine
need.
came-
People
To
don't
be-
even
to
need
be-
that to get or to go on how they're going.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
true.
men need is a good outfit. You can have a man that looks a tramp in the week. All a man needs is one good outfit. I said that we should do that experiment. Go and get a tramp off the streets, clean him up, get him a good outfit, and hire a car for the day, and just give him like
So
a
true.
couple of £100. Let him go into a club and pick up any girl he wants, shag her, and then let him turn up the next day how he normally looks. And then nobody's going to want him because that's all it takes is a good outfit and a car. Half of them men out there, they hire the cars anyway. They don't belong to them. They're just getting free sex,
It's facts. It's actually facts.
you know, for a lift home, you know.
Auntie, you think it's that easy for guys?
Yep,
It is.
we should do it. I think it's that easy for a guy to go and get it because women nowadays, they're so loose and all they care about is you got there. Seriously, get a guy, put a chain on him and get him some name brand clothes and all that Belugiana or whatever their name is and give him a car, you know, and turn him outside the nightclub. Guarantee, put him on a table with a great big bottle of champagne as well. With some other men that look like him, the girls are going to rush him.
I don't know. So I probably would have thought like that. You guys know what pickup is? So pickup is basically where men learn how to get laid.
Okay.
So, it started with, and I'm probably going to butcher this a little bit. Sorry, chat. But there's certain guys that were like pickup artists. So it's called Neil Strauss the Game. And it was him dealing with these guys that basically teach other men how to get laid. And there's videos on YouTube. So like, for example, one thing they would teach, which is a bit more PG, is to make sure to touch the girl. Not in like a weird way, but how are you going to go home with a guy if he hasn't touched you all night? Like, have you ever had a guy try to take you home and like you literally haven't touched once the whole day? Like, how are you going to feel comfortable? Okay. That's a PG version. So when I was doing research on this channel, I went to a pickup boot camp and these guys would pay thousands of dollars to be taught for a weekend how to get laid.
Simps.
Look, I'm not gonna look. But here's the thing, Andy. They were more normal. I mean, well, it was a wide variety, but some of them were more normal than you thought that like. And it kind of put me in the men's point of view because, you're kind of helping them. You're like, oh, go up to that girl or go up to that girl. And I could not believe like how harsh girls were to these guys. Like, even if they had a nice suit on or I would say like some of them were better looking than the girls. Like they would reject them so harshly.
You know why? Because any man that pays a couple of grand for that ain't got the patter. Don't know how to talk to a girl. The girl just wants to hear all that shit talk, the smooth talk that the men do. And that's what that's missing.
Yeah, so it's like, how do they change their personalities? Even if you get the suit and put them in VIP, you can't. Like one guy had talked to me about world domination. Yeah, he was gonna like be a conqueror. And he was gonna like conquer the world. I was like, what?
I bet he's one of those that go and dress up in army costumes and play in fields at the end of the week.
Auntie, I don't know.
You know what you should go to? Is it Erotica Expo? They do that. They do an expo with everything erotic, and they do classes in there.
You want me to go to that?
I'll take you. Me, you go together. I'll find out when it is.
Wait.
I'll find it. It'll blow your mind.
What would I do there?
No, it's just like a great big you know how you have Comic Con? You have Comic Con
expedition and that.
Yeah, and then you have a erotica expedition.
I've been.
I've been as well. That's where I met Vita Dantes.
Okay, I'm gonna
get put a cage and hang up from the ceiling.
I would rather not do that. I would rather not. I'm gonna go.